Hello. Well, hello there. Yeah, all right. We are live. All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dave Konshak. I am the Director of Operations with my team Triumph and the race director for the 12 Hours of Road America and the Hairpin 100 Criterium race at Road America that's happening in August. So I'm really pleased to have you all join me today. We're just going to do a little bit of an overview on what we have going on new this year, how some things went in the past year, and trying to just give everybody that information that we need to kind of get rolling. This year we are also planning, I will be doing some lives just about every week up until the event. We're going to have some new things coming in, training tips. We'll have some different guests that we'll bring in and talk about the event, talk about some partnerships, talk about what we have going on there as we're getting closer and closer. So today I just really wanted to kind of give everybody a little bit of an overview and know what to expect coming into 2021. Hey, Autumn, how's it going? All right. All right, so Road America, 12-hour Road America event last year. We added a few different categories. So instead of just having our 12-hour cycling portion, we added a 12 hours of running and 12 hours of duathlon. So we were pretty excited to be able to bring all those things and make that available to everybody. Even, in the midst of the pandemic, we were able to work with Road America to give some, do some additional categories of what we were doing at the event. We had it in a safe way, and we had a lot of smiling faces because we were really one of probably the very few events, especially that at that time, that happened in 2021. So, every time I look back at all the things that happened during the event, seeing those smiles of people that were at the event, it put a smile on my face because that's what we all had missed during the year. And to be able to add those new things in there, have people come in person, and it was just really, really inspiring. So with our event, just kind of break that down, how we had it last year was, with the three categories of the cycling, duathlon, and the running, each of those categories were able to participate in some of the challenges that were happening out on course. So during the event, we actually do sprint challenges for both cycling and the running portions. Last year we had a sprint portion that was a full lap for the run. We are going to shorten that up this year, so that is one big change. There'll be certain times that you'll be able to participate in those challenges and then, be able to earn a jersey for being the top dog in those categories. So either for the sprint cycling or sprint running, we had a running jersey or cycling jersey. And we give those out to both male and female. So pretty fun time for the sprints. And then we also have our King and Queen of the Mountain. So hill climb at the end of our course for the cycling, and about in the middle of the run course of a big hill that is going to be that fastest person sprinting up. So, some people may have wondered, hey, we're on a racetrack and we're having King of the Mountain. What kind of hills can you actually have here? And we'll later on go into a little bit more on that course, but this is a iconic course. It's 4 miles, 14 turns, and definitely not flat. Okay, I was listening to a lot of people last year come off that their cycling laps. They're like, okay, I count these laps, instead of one lap, I'm counting those 3 hills. Okay, so you have one moderate hill right in the middle, then you have a slow, long climb after you pass turn 12 in Canada Corner. And that's a slow, gradual climb, and then one big climb short, steep, I should say, more punchy climb towards the end. So yes, this is a hilly racetrack. It's not just that typical racetrack that you'd think of that just might be that oval and flat. This is a lot of turns and up and downs as you go through. I know some people that were up there in the 150 miles for their course of the 12 hours. They were sitting 8,000 to 9,000 feet of elevation gain. So definitely not the flattest course out there. Carla, baby hills. Carla loves the hills. She loves dropping chains on hills. I think it's the weight she puts of the pizza and notebooks and everything else in her basket on her bike. I think that's where it all comes from. So those challenges, those will be coming back again this year. Last year, we also added some milestones. So we had 3 different milestones for the running and cycling portion. So you can earn patches, you can earn stickers, or the coveted belt buckle that everybody, a lot of people were going after anyways. That's achieved by hitting 150 miles on the bike, or 100K or 62 miles on the run course. So last year, nobody did earn the belt buckle on the run course, and I know that there were a few people that were like, I'm coming back next year just because I'm going to earn that buckle. They were so close. Some of them, just one lap away or just a few miles off of hitting their goal to get that. So I'm sure we will definitely be seeing some runners hit that. And because the milestones were such a hit last year, we're also going to be adding some milestones for the duathlon portion. So how that duathlon works, as far as like scoring goes, some people are like, well, how do we do this? When do I have to run then bike or whatever? You can do it in any order that you want. Basically, it's allowing you to do all the running and cycling that you want during the 12 hours. And every 3 laps on the bike course, or 12 miles, to every 1 lap or 4 miles on the run course equals a duathlon. So if you want to bike for the first 6 hours and then run for the last 6 hours, that's fine. You want to split it up, take breaks, whatever. But when we break down the math of how many duathlons you have, then that's how you're going to earn your milestones. It's all going to come down to that 3-to-1 ratio. Kayla, if a captain wins a belt buckle with the angel, will the angel get it as well? So actually, that's a great question, Kayla. So last year, yes, that's how we would have had it. But because we are, it is a little bit tougher for captains and angels to earn some of those belt buckles at the mileage that we had. We have now we're 2 people going up those hills versus 1, and just the speed or brakes and things like that. So what we did is we actually added new milestones for the assisted division. So all of the captains and angels will be able to be in that those runnings for those milestones. And yes, if you hit the milestone for the belt buckle, you both will get the belt buckle. So to answer your question, absolutely both of you will get that. Autumn, the beast is what Autumn said, the beast is what I call that last hill. Yes, I think a lot of people had a lot of words for it, but I do like the beast. It is it's a short, punchy one, but after you've just done that long climb beforehand, it gets you. And after you've been after it, lap to lap to lap, it's definitely wearing on you. So, so adding those milestones and challenges, we had a really good response to those last year, so we just wanted to be able to offer a few more of those for all of the categories, including our assisted division. And Christian, can we request Baby Shark played on the final hill? Yeah, we can, as long as you are dressed up like Baby Shark. Then we will play it on the final hill. But you have to be doing it pulling a captain. That's the deal. All right. What else? We got a couple questions here. Al, sorry for joining late. Can you offer some tips and hints for first timers? Things to know to maximize our experience. Things you wish you would have known for the first time. Al, actually, that's really great that you asked that. A few things with that. So on a couple of our lives that I will be hosting this year, we are going to be bringing in a coach to talk with me and talk about some tips and pointers as far as training and nutrition. So that's always a big question. But then the other part of that answers your question too is, what to expect at the 12-hour Road America event. So I'm actually going to break that down for you here in just a moment. And so perfect timing for joining now. I'll break down that whole day, that whole weekend, and what everything's going to look like shortly. So before we get down to that whole timeline, still kind of going on to what we are adding in this year. So we had a few people that were, still a little skeptical about, signing up for a 12-hour event. And, signing up for the 12-hour event, you don't have to bike or run or do all the duathlon for the total 12 hours or 12 hours straight. You can take all the breaks you want. So if you want to be out there for an hour and take a 4-hour break, or if you want to go out there for 4 hours, take whatever you want to do, there's no rules to this, okay? It's not a race. Yes, there's milestones you can earn, or you can earn an award for being the top mileage, but this isn't a race. This is a 12-hour overnight event supporting my Team Triumph. So this is a great way for people to get out on the track, have some fun, and go over all of the festivities that we have going on. So we decided to add a 2-hour event, 2-hour category, I should say. So for those people that are still like, hey, I don't know if I want to sign up for the full 12 hours, or maybe maybe there's for support for somebody, for your spouse or a brother or a friend, and you want to just participate in a little bit, and then you're there for support for the remaining of that time. So the 2-hour event is available for the run portion or the cycling portion, and that will be the first 2 hours of the event, so starting at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right. Let's see what else you got here, Al. 12 hours of Road America. Yep, planning on. Looking forward to it. Oh, yes. Awesome. Yes. Oh, yeah. Tonight, this is the first week at Road America that their 4 miles of fitness is actually taking place. It started on Monday, so it's every Monday and Wednesday. It runs from 6 to 8. This gives, especially for your local people, it gives you a chance to go out, check out the track. The track is wide open. Most of the time, the Motorplex go-kart track, all of the service roads are open. The service roads are what we utilize for the run course, so you're being able to really see what the course is all about, or do some training there. And it's just a fun, safe place to be able to be, not out in traffic. It's all closed down inside versus having possibly some group rides you might be doing out on the roadways. So definitely come check out the 4 miles of fitness at Road America. So 2-hour event, like I said, we added that for this year. Another thing that we're adding to the weekend this year is our Hairpin 100 Criterium race. So Criterium, or Crit, some people may have heard of that, some people may have not. So the Crit race, what it is it's a very fast, intense, but usually short course road race on your bikes. So typically, these are going to happen on, anywhere from 1 kilometer to 3 kilometer courses, for the majority that you see. So it's a real short course. We decided to bring in have a criterium race during our weekend to make our endurance weekend, even more fun to be a part of. So this is actually taking place on the go-kart track at Road America. So it's called the Motorplex, and like Carr says, what the crit? That's right. What the crit? We are going to be hitting it fast, hitting it hard. We have a 1 kilometer course setup, 8-turn on that go-kart track. So it's going to be super fun, super fast. It'd be fun to spectators to come hang out and watch, or hey, maybe you've always wanted to try one, or you've done road cycling races and never did the short crit race, or you're doing the 12-hour and you're going to be there early and you're like, well, maybe I just want to go and do a quick crit race on, during the day on Saturday, or possibly even Friday night, depending on which category you sign up. So with that, we are offering, I think there's roughly $4,000 in cash and prizes that we're giving out. There are going to be preems available. Preems are kind of like a short little pop-up contest, per se, that for those of you that aren't familiar with them. So anytime in the middle of that race, we could be ringing a bell, and it's going to be the first person to cross that or do that next lap could win that preem. So even though you might not win that race and be top dog, you could go after some of those preems, which could be cash, could be some prizes, could be some real fun things. So it really makes your experience quite interesting. So, as far as distance and laps go, a lot of people want to know, what's going on with that, with a crit race. We have these races, by category, from juniors to beginner to intermediate, advanced, and then our elite classes. The time is just going to progressively get longer. So we have 30-minute races for the beginners and juniors. Then we're going to start ramping up to 45 minutes. We have an hour for the advance. And why we named it actually the Hairpin 100, besides those hairpin turns, is the elites are actually going to be racing for 100 minutes. So it's going to be a super, super intense race with all of those turns, a little bit of elevation gain in there. I mean, you want to see some action, you're definitely going to want to check it out. Let's just pop up some of these comments here. Al, 12 Hours Road America, I need to be gluten-free. Do you, if any of the food vendors accommodate us gluten-free participants? Al, that's great. I actually do gluten-free as well. And, there are a lot of people that do need those things. So we will always have some options for some of our items, especially, looking into, if you're part of Victory Lane Experience, we'll have a gluten-free option for your lunch there, and among other things. Not everything will be, have that option, but some of them definitely will be. I'm glad that Christian says that the top prize takes home a hair product, because this is just a good old bedhead here. So, but I would love to see, some pomade sponsors come in for those preems, because I think that'd be great. Just fantastic. So events, that's kind of what we got going on for the Hairpin 100. Now let's get a little bit of a breakdown of how this is really going to kind of go down this year. Last year, with just having the 12-hour portion, we were having check-in and Victory Lane experience stuff all happening around noon on Saturday, and then our race kicked off at 7 p.m. This year, we are really starting to grow into the weekend. So we are starting out... camping is going to be available all weekend long. So for those of you that are new to the event, we've always offered campsites available for anybody that wants to set up tent, set up camp. Maybe their family's there with them. Maybe they plan on sleeping sometime during the night there. You'll definitely be able to take that, be able to pick up that experience this year, because having it there the whole weekend, where some of you did bike almost all of those 12 hours, or a significant amount where you didn't really utilize your campsite or tent space. So we do have some spaces. When you register, you can reserve for your RV trailer or motorhome, and then also campsite. So you can kind of designate where you want to be on those. We are asking you to reserve those because if they sell out per se, or our reservations are all filled up, we cannot guarantee that there will be those close proximity spots for you. We do have a whole nother area that we grew into for camping, which is going to be right down by the Motorplex area where the crit race is. So there should be plenty of spaces, but if you want the spots that you want to be at, especially if you're partaking in the 12-hour event, you'll want to go in and reserve those spots early so you can have the spots that you want. There is no cost for the camping, but we just ask you to reserve your space. So camping all weekend, starting on Friday. Friday night, we will be starting out the criterium race. The juniors are going to be taking place on Friday evening, and the beginners. Saturday morning, we will be starting out with our intermediate classes and working our way up into the elites throughout the day. I believe the last race will be wrapped up around 4 o'clock. So those, as soon as one race is done, we're popping right into the next. So there'll be a lot of action, if you're spectating, and not a lot of wait time to be able to, get on the track if you're waiting for your heat to come up. A few hours after that, 7 p.m., we will start our overnight 12-hour event. So what to expect during that 12-hour event? We're going to have live music. We have pizza at midnight. We have early morning pancakes. We have movies playing. A lot of fun things for the whole family to be a part of. Or if you just want to take a break from your cycling or running, being able to sit down and watch a movie. Have some, comfort food, I like to say, having a slice of pizza. Plenty of things to drink, both non-alcoholic and alcoholic, refreshments for everybody there if you want. And of course, we are bringing back, which was a huge hit last year, was the Festival Foods shopping cart. That was a ton of fun for people to get out on the track, whether you were actually participating or not. And being out there when the other cyclists were out there, it's all light up, and it was a lot of fun just to kind of be out there and have that different experience on the track. All right, Kayla, do they have a hotel by the racetrack? Yeah, there are a few different hotels in the area, either in Elkhart Lake or over in Plymouth. So Plymouth hotels are probably within 10 minutes of the racetrack. So there are plenty of hotel options to be able to stay at if you're there for Friday, or maybe you don't plan on doing the entire 12-hour event for some people, etc. But if you plan on being there for the whole weekend and you want to stay at a hotel nearby, we definitely have lots of options. So the Road America website will also, for people looking for those housing or hospitality stuff in the area, if you go down to Road America's website, they do have some nearby hotels as well that are listed in there. If anybody plans to camp and they need electricity, they're bringing their camper, their motorhome, those options are available. You can reserve those sites right through roadamerica.com on their website. All other camping needs that we can offer with non-electric for part of the event that's no cost to you can be found on our Road America 12.com website, and that's got our registration. All of these details as well that are all onto that webpage. So with that, camping, crit race, 12-hour event going through the night, lots of things, like I said, for the family to be able to do, or spectators, or for yourself throughout the entire night. One of the things that people are always kind of questioning, though, is, hey, where do I charge my phone or my bike computer or my lights? Because lights are required, headlight on your bike, and some kind of headlamp or a lighted vest when you're running, because obviously this is an overnight event. Most of your time you will be in the dark. We do have some areas that are available that you can plug in and charge your devices. We do have some team tent areas in pit lane that do have electric. Some do, some don't. Those can be reserved when you register for the event as well. So make sure you check that out. There's a map. You can see where your placement is. We have certain tent spaces that are set aside just for the duathlon, cycling or running, so that they're in proximity of where their start and finish are, or easy to get onto the bike track or back onto the road track if you're into duathlon. And again, some of those have electricity access. You will need to bring your own extension cords or power strips and things like that, but there are some power pads there that we can plug into. Tent spaces for those team tent areas do vary too. We have 10 by 10 and 10 by 15 spaces available. Again, spaces are somewhat limited. So if you have a group that plans on being there, signing up as a team, then you definitely want to probably reserve one of those tents. It's right across from where we set up our bike racks and whatnot. So speaking of teams, this is a fun factor to be there as part of a team. Some people think of teams in this setting for a 12-hour like you might be a relay, and though you can set that up like a relay, you don't necessarily have to do it that way. So for cycling, what you're going to see a lot is some of those teammates working together. So you can always be on the track at the same time. Everybody will have a timing chip that's part of the team. The only difference is if you're part of a team, there will be one chip that can be moved from person to person. So you always want that team chip to go. And what that team chip does is it makes your team eligible for some of the team awards. So, most miles, first, second, third, we're going to be adding into this year, where last year we just have the top dogs in there. But, you want to keep that team chip moving. And teams are available in all three categories. Again, the running, duathlon, and the cycling. So those are some of the things to expect, what's happening at Road America during our 12-hour event. It's a huge venue, tons of space. During the day, even not part of our event, but during that weekend, there are some car races going on during the day on Friday, Saturday, and after our event is done on Sundays. So when we're not on the track, there's some car races happening on the track. So it's always fun to check out, the different car races that are going on. The property is huge. There's disc golf out there. It's 640 acres. There's a ton of space just to be able to spread out and check out things and see the different races and whatnot going on. One last thing that I wanted to add, and I saw on, Kayla's comment here, was she said vegan. So at first, I thought maybe she was requesting some vegan food. But what she's really excited about is we are bringing in a special guest this year. So this is my last thing I wanted to kind of just give you a recap for what's happening this year. But we are bringing in a cycling influencer, and his name he goes by the Vegan Cyclist, Tyler Pierce. Super fun guy, and loves to ride all the bikes, whether it's on the road, time trial, mountain bike, gravel bike, you name it. He loves to be on all of the bikes. And we invited him to come to our event, and he is coming Not only is he coming to our event, he is going to be participating as an angel with Captain Kayla. So we are super stoked. He was really inspired by our mission and wanted to take part as an angel doing that for the 12-hour event. So while he's here, there's going to be a lot of different things where you might be able to meet and greet with him, ride with him. He's going to be participating in the crit race as well. He's going to be doing a full live stream during the race on that. But super fun guy. If you don't know who he is, pop on Instagram or Facebook, look up the Vegan Cyclist. And he also has a lot of content on YouTube. So the Vegan Cyclist is how you can find him. And most likely you'll be able to get a meet and kind of hear his story here in the upcoming weeks during one of these lives that we'll be featuring each week up to the event. So that's what I have for you guys today. Make sure you hit up our website. If you have any other questions, you can comment on Facebook here. We will get back to you with any other questions as well that you have. We'll definitely be getting more into depth on the course, onto nutrition, onto training, onto what's happening exactly. Break down into every little bit of that weekend for you guys, because we really want this weekend to be more fun than it was last year. I don't know if that's possible, because I had a blast. I know my team had a blast, and all of the participants that I saw, just were ear to ear grin during the entire event. So we are just going to keep making this event better and better each year. So I will definitely look forward to seeing you guys at Road America, and keep an eye out for more of these lives. We will be popping up each Wednesday at noon on our pages. Thanks for joining. Now Christian broke everything.